everybody, how you doing? I'm Rusty Nelson and welcome. I'm down here in the Villages, Florida, but today's video could be just about anywhere in the United States. But we're going to talk about one of these. And what one of these is a whole house surge protection. Hey everybody, I'm going to stop the video right here because as you can see, I'm actually editing the video, and this is not the video you're watching right now. This is not my normal editing spot. I am actually up here in Pennsylvania celebrating the 4th of July weekend up here, but I shot the whole thing down in Florida, the installation of this PSP surge protector, whole home surge protector, and Lenhart Electric down there in Florida actually did the installation. And as I'm doing this, they sent me an email and said, hey, if you want to give people a $50 discount that watch this video, if they're going to have it installed by us, we'll give them a $50 discount off of their normal price. And I said, well, yeah, sure. And they said, just have them mention your name and YouTube when they call up to order it, and we'll take 50 bucks off. I said, hey, that's great. I will say they didn't hire me to do this video. This video, I invited them, or I didn't invite them, I asked them if I could videotape it at the installation at my house, thinking it might help you guys out, referring to the other surge protection video. If you haven't watched it, I'll post it on here from before. So that's what this is. I also contacted PSP, which is the manufacturer of the surge protector, and said, hey, you got a little 2-minute and 40-second video. Would you mind if I use that in this video since they're installing your product? And they said, no problem. So I kind of, at the last minute, I'm rearranging things. I'm not shooting this whole video all over again. And so first thing you're going to see is a little video by PSP, the company that made the surge protection unit. And then we're just going to jump right into the installation video. And you'll learn a bunch of stuff on there. For instance, one thing that we didn't include in there, we probably should have, is if you're going to have something like this installed in your house, make sure you have all your sensitive electronics and stuff like that turned off, because they're going to be flipping circuit breakers and stuff like that when they do the install. Anyway, that's enough of this blab. If you want to get a $50 discount, just mention when you call them, and this is in Florida, I guess only at this time. Mention to them you saw Rusty and on YouTube, and that's how you saw the unit, and they'll give you 50 bucks off. Let's just go right to the PSP video. Enjoy, and I hope you learn a lot from this.
Any house or structure on an electrical grid is vulnerable to power surges. Surges and transients are brief spikes or disturbances in voltage that can degrade, damage, or even destroy valuable electronic equipment in your home. And unknowingly, most of us have experienced a surge or a transient, unaware of the cause. Surges usually come from outside the home. Transients, however, occur daily and come from both inside and outside the home. These are smaller spikes in voltage that do damage to your electronic equipment over time. The most common source of transients is utility grid switching. Inside the home, transients come from interruptions in the flow of electricity when equipment like a vacuum or air conditioner is turned on and off. Power outages also interrupt the flow of electricity, causing transients. Next, there's device cycles. You'll notice this when lights flicker or dim in your home because of your refrigerator, dishwasher, vacuum, etc. Okay, so that's inside your home. But what about outside sources? Utility line or power station repair and maintenance, as well as anything touching a power line, can cause transients. No matter the source, it's important to utilize whole home surge protection for your computer, TV, refrigerator, microwave, and any other devices with modern electronics to protect against damage from surges or transients. If it's a surge, it might cause immediate damage. Transients happen daily, wearing down your electronics and appliances over time. Surge protection combats this damage by detecting a voltage spike and diverting the extra voltage to a ground wire before it ever reaches your electronics. In fact, the NEC 2020 guidelines from the National Fire Protection Association require all new homes to have surge protection on the electrical panel. Even with whole home surge protection, surges or transients can still come through a network cable, coaxial cable, or phone line. and the occasional yard lightning strike, which is why PSP Products offers additional surge protection for these other points of entry. PSP Whole Home Surge Protection provides residential surge protection with gas discharge tube and thermally protected metal oxide barrister technology. This hybrid design brings the best protection for connected electronic equipment inside your home. The TP MOV reacts first, diverting the initial spike safely to the ground, and the GDT takes care of anything over the TP MOV capacity. And with a lifetime product warranty and downline warranty, there's no better protection against surges for your home. Ask your electrician today about installing PSP Whole Home Surge Protection.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Today we're going to do something really special and we're going to install one of these, a surge protection for the whole house. Anyway, I'm Rusty Nelson and this is John from Lenhart Electric. Luckily they've decided to come out and he's not too afraid to be on camera with me. And go ahead and introduce yourself and your background.
All right, hey Rusty, thanks for having me out. My name's John. I work for Lenhart Electric. I've been a master electrician since 2005. I've been doing electrical work in the villages for about 20 years. That's it.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. I know I'm a little older than 28, but
yeah, he looks a lot younger.
You can't see the old part of me. It's back here.
Yeah. Well, now I am going to tell you, it's hotter than all get out here, and I'm going to say real quick because you guys know I have to say this. I am not associated with Lenhart Electric at all. They're kind of doing this, coming out and showing this the grace of their heart, so to speak. And also, I am not an electrician. He is. So anything I say, don't listen to me because I probably don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just another knucklehead on YouTube. But today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about this unit. And we're going to explain surge protection really quick, and I have a great little video for you guys to watch. Then we're going to talk about the options that we have to install this unit, and through that we'll talk a little bit about the different things and go back and reference the video. And John, you're going to kind of go through this with me and show me some of the things that they like to check besides just installing the unit itself. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, installing the unit for us is a pretty cut and dry process.
Yeah.
Where we want to start is we want to make sure you have a good grounding system. So we're going to go outside later and we're going to check to see if you have 5 ohms or less, because that's what most surge protector manufacturers suggest.
And I do remember in the reading and the studying I've done, which John will tell you, I probably dug too deep into it till I kind of blew some fuses in my own brain. But we're going to jump into these different things and invite you along for the ride. Now, I will say before we get started, this is not a DIY project. So it's not a do-it-yourself. In fact, as we talk about the unit that I've decided to get and use through Lenhart, this is not a DIY. This just has to be installed by electricians.
Yeah, they sell direct to electricians because they want to make sure that this unit is installed properly, because they do offer a lifetime guarantee to it.
Yeah.
And like $100,000 connected equipment. So as long as the electrician comes out, puts this in properly, you have coverages within your home.
Right. We're both sitting here sweating, so
right?
please excuse our sweat. We're trying to get through this for you. Yeah, they're just to let you know, through some of my research, I didn't take this lightly. I went through, in fact, I had actually ordered some other type units to look at them, and there were some big things that stood out when I got introduced to this unit. And we're going to go through those things a little bit, but one of the first things was the warranty. I mean, they offer a lifetime warranty, that draws your attention right away. The other thing was, you can hear that this thing is
it's heavy duty.
Yeah, and you had told me a little while ago about levels.
The NEMA rating. So most stuff that you see outside your home is NEMA 3, NEMA 3R.
Right.
So that's like the standard rating of even the stuff we put in as far as your exterior outlet covers. Right. This is NEMA 4X. So if you choose to, sometimes we put these outside at your main panel,
right,
out there. So if you choose to go out there and spray that with a water hose, I wouldn't suggest it, but it'll be fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to go through a bunch of information like that, and we're going to start off by kind of showing you in this panel. We're going to jump to that, and show you what the options are for the installation in here. I'm not going to install it outside, we're going to do this inside. And when we go out to check the ground out, I'm also going to show you some, we're going to talk for just a second about some other things that I have in the house regarding surge protection. And if you haven't watched it, I did a video, and I put a link up here and down below, on lightning here in Central Florida, the lightning capital of the world, some say, and also about surge protection and how this unit can be combined with a type 1 and a type 3, and even if you want to go as far as a type 4. So let's go ahead and get started on this one. If you watch my other video for maintenance about checking this right here, the meter, if you look right here, I actually have a ring around here. Now that is a type 1 surge protection that's put on by Duke Energy. This kind of protects from surges coming from like the line.
Yeah, any anomalies in the utility system.
Right.
So if they're switching anything, or if they take power down, turn power back up, or if somebody runs into a transformer, it all creates a surge.
So we're talking about really big surges,
Yeah.
and you know, this is also thermally protected, and it can take some pretty big hits. And talk about pretty big hits. We're not, with this type of protection, we're not talking about a lightning protection per se. We're talking about surges that could be caused maybe by a nearby lightning strike. If your house gets hit by lightning, that is, you're not going to be, no matter what you have on there. The only thing possibly that you could have, which we're not going to talk about today, is lightning protection that is actually on the house, and that's actually to protect the structure. It's not actually, doesn't actually protect the wiring and stuff like that in surges, because it goes right into ground. It's just diverting a lightning strike from your house, right?
Correct.
Right, okay. So now we're going to talk about one of the first things they check, because this is so important. I wouldn't have known this if he hadn't brought his little wacky machine right here. And he's actually going to check, now you're going to check.
We're going to check the resistance. So the ideal conditions for a surge protector is to be 5 ohms or less.
Right.
Now the National Electric Code only requires 25 ohms.
Right.
So as long as that meets a condition of 25 ohms, your house is up to your National Electric Code. But we're looking for 5 ohms or less, because the whole idea is to create a path of least resistance. You know, electricity is lazy. It wants to get to Earth as easy as it can, and we want to make it real easy on them.
Just going back to reference the video really quick, the video that you watched here from PSP, the company that makes us, is they actually talk about that, how the surge protectors basically diverts that over voltage into the ground.
Correct.
Right? So that's why this is so important. So let's go ahead and check this out.
All right, so luckily you have an easy way to check your ground wire here. Not every home has this. So we're going to take our clamp-on meter here, turn it on, and take a reading. So you are at 0.27 ohms. You have a really good grounding. So we have a couple options on our installs. And the name of the game is to try to get the leads as short as possible. The shorter the leads, the less voltage that's going to sneak through in the event of a surge.
Even though it doesn't seem like a long time, think about how fast electricity moves. The shorter those wires are, the quicker the surge protector has to answer the question. If you watch that video, you'll understand a lot of this.
And luckily these function in nanoseconds, which is faster than a surge.
Right.
So,
Right.
the first option would be down here at the bottom, but that's going to be the longest amount of leads, of course,
Right.
which is perfectly fine for the install. And this is how we put most of them in. The reason being is if we put them over here, and I think this is where we're going to put them out for you, right?
Right.
In this situation, we need to cut drywall, and not everybody wants that.
Right. Now, it's not going to be that damaging, I'll tell you, because I don't do major drywall work, but I can do drywall work. So this, you'll even see it at the end of this. It's not that much, but it does take extra time. So I'd say it may cost a little more, but that's up to you guys. But we're going to use this plate, and this plate does, when we're installing out here, the face plate.
It covers the cut marks, yep.
Yeah, or it just makes it look neat too, kind of this nice little thing. But also it can be mounted inside the box, right?
Absolutely, yeah. It's perfectly acceptable to mount this inside these boxes if there's enough room. The company actually sells a clip that you would want to bring out. We
Little
mount
bracket?
it inside. Yeah. The only downfall with putting it on the inside is you don't get the LED indicator.
Right, you can't see the indicator itself, but it has an audible
Right.
alarm, So you will hear that alarm beeping. And the reason this alarm's important is because even though this has a lifetime warranty, if for some reason it fails, right?
Yep.
You're going to hear the beeping.
Yeah, it's super rare. It's happened in
Right.
the past, but if they do fail, you want to know about it.
Yeah. And if you watch that video, that's a really cool thing about this unit, and that's through my research that I thought, okay, I like this, because I couldn't find any other ones like this, that both had a discharge tube and the MOV in there, which they kind of work together and lessen the probability of this failing. In case we didn't say this before, this is not a DIY unit. So this is installed by professionals, and this company, Vortexx, you're actually getting, if you decide to do this, it may not look like this, because this is one of the earlier models, and the model that you would look at is any different, but Lenhart is going to have their own little sticker for the front of it. Is that right?
Yeah, we want to put our sticker on there, so if you ever have any questions or you want to know who's protecting your home, you know it's us, of course.
Yeah, basically you're giving them their phone number.
Yeah,
there you
gets
go.
us back in their house.
Little shameless self-promotion, right? There you go.
And the reason they want us to install these is because they want to make sure they're installed right, because that gets you a lifetime warranty. Not only for you, if you ever move and somebody else moves into your house, they get the warranty.
So that's great. I don't know of anybody else that does that. If they are right, you'd love to hear stuff from the comments down below, but make sure you know what you're talking about, because we're going to come back with some good answers. All right, we're going to get started cutting. What we're doing right now is we're just drilling through the 2x4s and fitting in the conduit and making sure that's got a good tight fit. And
Almost there.
yeah, it looks pretty tight, but that's a good thing. So we're just gonna keep moving on. Got the conduit going through, and this is where the unit itself's going to mount, and you kind of got to make sure that it's close enough. And it's a little bit of trickery trying to make this fit in there, right? But you did it. Almost looked like you knew what you were doing.
Almost.
I guess after 20 years, 20 years? How long?
22 years.
22 years, I guess you know what you're doing. We're gonna move each one of these breakers up because we want the breaker as close as we can
To the service disconnect. Yep.
right, to the service disconnect where the power comes in. It is time, I think. We're both sitting here sweating. There's thunderstorms a long distance away. And it's time to turn that circuit breaker on and see whether all the work happened. All I have to do is fix this one little area right here. And like we said earlier, that was just one way of installing it, but your guys can let you know what they can accomplish and can't when they get here, right?
Absolutely.
All right, well, let's see whether we accomplished our mission and turned it on.
Let's do it.
All right, it's on.
All right, power's on. We got a green LED. That means everything's working perfect.
Great.
So your house is protected.
That's about it, really, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so on my house, remember I have the type 1, one that Duke put onto the meter, protected there. This is a type 2 the way it's installed here, although...
It could be installed as a type 1.
Right.
So if we installed it on the line side of your service disconnect,
Right.
it now becomes a type 1. And you got to keep in mind the device has to be manufactured for a type 1 or a type 2 to have that option.
Right, so it depends on the way it's mounted, but right now it is a type 2,
Correct.
which I'm kind of directing to all the transient stuff and stuff that's going to come through
Correct.
the panel.
Yep.
And like I said before, as far as I can tell, as far as the units go that are out there, this is pretty much a beast.
It is.
And that's why it's got the lifetime warranty. And then on top of that, as I've said in some of the other videos I've had, I also have surge protectors that are
Type 3.
Type 3, you call
yeah.
it. And if you haven't watched that video, go ahead and watch that video. But are we done?
One more thing.
One more thing.
I've got to
There you
come
go.
back and we need to relabel this. Just
Oh,
don't forget
yeah.
So we moved everything up because we wanted to get that breaker closest to the main breaker as we could. So what I'm going to do is we'll bring another label out. White out just does not look good, so we'll relabel that and
He's a little bit of a perfectionist. I like him. Also, go ahead and give him your contact information for your company.
Yeah. You can reach me or us at Lenhart Electric at 833-3-Lenhart.
And I will put that contact information down below, and I will put it down in the notes. So you have that. Like I said, I'm going to say before, the two of us are not connected. I don't work for Lenhart. He doesn't work for me, or he did a little bit. And I don't work for the Villages. So we're completely independent of each other. Anyway, is that it?
Yeah.
This is pretty cool. I feel pretty good. I'm starting to hear some thunder in the background.
Yeah. So we're fixing to hopefully not put this to work.
No. And that's the great part. It does its job silently. One thing I will say about surge protectors that I definitely want to say is that you have to check on them. It's nice to have this light or have the beeping because they do wear out. I mean, this one right here is kind of exceptional. I don't expect this to wear out, but a lot of these and that type of thing, they will wear out along with that type 1 that's out there, even though that's a beast out there too. Anyway, thanks a lot, John. I really appreciate it. You've been patient. I can see you're sweating.
I appreciate you having me out.
Yeah, I'm sweating. This has been a good experience. Really neat install. And considering we were trying to tape this at the same time, it went fairly painless and fast with some options. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, give those guys a call. Don't call me because I'm not the electrician. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you got something out of this. If you did, please subscribe and like. Give these guys a call. I'll put the information down below. And like I always say, I'll either see you out in the Villages or I'll see you back here on YouTube. Once again, thanks a lot, John. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
You guys have been great.